guys, welcome back to another theatre vlog. So like I mentioned last week, today I'm going to be talking about the 4 Glindas I've seen on the West End, and not so much like rating them, just talking about them, like who was my favourite. And I'm not going to say least favourite because I think they're all brilliant. But just before actually I get on with this video, on Monday I managed to get Dear Evan Hansen tickets, which I just can't even talk about it really. I'm so excited, and I'm so happy because I tried so hard to get those tickets. And it's going to be incredible. I'm going to see it January next year, and it's something I've always wanted to see. So if you try to get tickets, I really hope you manage to get tickets, because it's really frustrating. When they did the pre-sale, everyone was talking about how they managed to get them, and I was like, oh, I really don't want to talk about it, so I didn't. But now I have, so I really hope you guys have got exactly the same thing if you tried. Yeah, anyway, so that's sort of a side note. But there's definitely going to be a vlog about that, just give me a year. But anyway, moving on. So I've seen 4 Glindas in the West End. I've seen most recently Sophie Evans, Maria Coyne, Savannah Stevenson and Susie Mathers. And it always makes me laugh because all the Glindas I've seen all began with S until I saw Maria, who was incredible by the way. But that's a completely random fact. Anyway, come on Catherine, moving on. Right, so my number 4 Glinda, for no other reason then I don't really remember much about the performance, would be Savannah Stevenson, because she was my very first Glinda. So just like Emma Hatton from last week's video, Savannah will always have like a really special place for me because she was the first Glinda, and she did introduce me to the world of who Glinda was, the character, different things like that. But yeah, I mean, I don't really remember her that much. I do, like, I watch videos of her now, and what I do remember is thinking, wow, this woman is like absolutely incredible, and her singing styles were amazing. But I don't really remember much, that's why she's number 4. Number 3 is Sophie Evans, who is the current Glinda on the West End. And she's leaving, which is quite sad. But I'm looking forward to seeing who's going to replace her, and obviously seeing a new Glinda. But Sophie Evans, I think is absolutely wonderful. She is actually the youngest Glinda. I don't know if it's ever, but definitely in the West End. She was 23 when she took on the role, which is insane because that's my age, and I just couldn't imagine, like, not because of the fact I can't sing, but myself doing like as big as Wicked, like the confidence that she obviously has to have, and the power, just wow, it really just amazes me. So good for her, you know, she is good, but she is number 3 just because this isn't the reason, but because she's from Wales, which isn't the reason. Obviously she's got a very thick Welsh accent because I met her at the stage door, and when I was talking to her I thought, my gosh, you know, this is such a thick accent. And when she talks as Glinda, I think she tries so hard to put on that English accent that it almost comes across as quite annoying. And I've spoken to a couple of other people who have watched Sophie, and they found the exact same thing, just the talking voice is quite annoying. Singer voice, off the scale. She is amazing, and what she does differently to any of the other Glindas I've seen is she sings a lot more than the others did, not in terms of songs, but there's one scene in particular where she's showing Elphaba her shoe collection, and the other Glindas I've seen didn't really do anything with that. They just sort of pointed to it, where she sings just one note when she's looking at it. And there's a couple of other times when the other girls were just talking and would just stand and point at something which she would be singing, which I thought was amazing. You know, she's constantly singing, and her acting as well is really good. I saw her in Defy Gravity, where there's a scene, Elphaba's on the floor, she's trying to do the spell, and Glinda is stepped back a bit, and you almost don't focus on Glinda because of what's going on with Elphaba, but I do. And she doesn't just stand there, which I find a couple of the other Glindas did, just looking a bit aimlessly. She was constantly checking the door, like, are the guards coming? You know, how long now till like they break through the door, which was really good. So that's my number 3. So number 2 would be Maria Coyne, who I only got to see once, and she just played her last show yesterday actually at the Apollo Victoria. She was the understudy for Glinda in 2015. She then rejoined the cast in 2017 as, again, understudy Glinda. And I saw her, and it was a completely unexpected thing. Sophie was supposed to be on, and I think as I was leaving I checked and it was still Sophie, and then when I got there Maria was on. So that was a complete shock for me. And I hadn't actually heard anything about Maria before I'd left. I knew she had a couple of fan pages, but I haven't heard her sing. I didn't really hear any reviews about her. But she was absolutely brilliant, and I just absolutely fell in love with her character. You know, she was very quirky, you know, very, very quirky, but she was also very vulnerable as well. And I think why Maria is so high up compared to the other two is when she sings I'm Not That Girl, she genuinely looked so heartbroken, and she looked, you know, heartbroken, just devastated, and I didn't really see that with the other two girls. So I think Maria managed to bring out that more vulnerable side of Glinda and managed to show us a side of her that she doesn't want people to see, you know, that she keeps hidden, because she comes across as such a bubbly, confident girl. But, you know, there are parts of her that isn't, and Maria definitely brought that. So that's why she's so high up. And it's such a shame to see her go, because I would have loved to have seen her again, but, you know, who knows who's going to replace her. I feel like I'm really rambling. Okay, number one is the absolutely incredible, and this is really interesting because I asked my mum who she thought would be number 1 and number 4, and the girl who I put as number 4, she thought I was going to put as number who I put as number 1, she thought I was going to put as number 4, and that is Susie Mathers. I loved Susie. I absolutely loved her. She brought so much to Glinda. And I look now and I think, when I watch like Sophie and Maria, I think, oh, did you get that from Susie? You know, because people learn from other people, and I definitely think a lot of the things she did has been carried on by the other actresses, but she was, oh my gosh, out of this world. Everything she could do with the character, she did it. Every little bit she could squeeze out of performance, she did it. She brought so much acting, so much energy, so much passion to the performance. And her dancing, you know, she definitely did some improvised moves, which was lovely, absolutely lovely, that she brought her own spin on the character Glinda. You know, singing was incredible, her edginess, her quirkiness, her bubbliness, I just absolutely loved her. And Susie's just a wonderful person in general, because I met her twice, but she definitely made Glinda for me. And I almost looked at the character, and I look now and I think, it's almost like when they were writing the story of Wicked, they were thinking about Susie Mathers when they did it. So she absolutely delivered that for me. So that's why she's number 1. And, you know, this video, just like last week's, is no disrespect to anybody. You know, Savannah being number 4, that's no disrespect. I just thought it'd be quite interesting to put my take on where I would put the Glindas I've seen, and see if you guys thought any differently. And obviously, you guys might have seen different Glindas. I know Gina Beck was, like, amazing. I never saw her, but I know she was amazing. So that's one I would have liked to have seen. And I look forward to seeing who's going to come on and replace Sophie, because she could be as good, better, or worse. You know, you just never know with these kind of things. Because when I first saw Sophie, I was actually, I mean, disappointed is quite a strong word, but I was quite disappointed by her performance. I feel like for being such a young girl, she could have brought so much more to the character than she did. But as time's gone on, she's really improved, and I feel like she's definitely come out of herself now and really made Glinda her own, which is lovely. So when I see this new Glinda, I'm not going to think too much about it, because I know, obviously it's a lot of nerves as well, it's the main part, and obviously it's a joint main part, but it comes with time, like how people learn, and to get up on stage every single day, and, you know, twice a day sometimes, and do that, I would love to be able to do that. So yeah, that's basically my video today, just talking about that. I think I mentioned it last week, but I completely can't remember, but I'm not going to be doing a video on my favourite Fieras, because I've seen 3. I'm not going to name the other 2, but Oliver Saville was absolutely, and will probably always be, the greatest Fiera I've ever seen. So I just don't think it's fair on the other 2 at all to do a video on that, just because he was absolutely wonderful. And he was another one I met, and it was a complete freak encounter how I met him, and I cried so much. So yeah, I'm not going to do a video on that, but just a very quick mention, Carl Mann is the second cover Fiera at the moment. Oh my god, I would literally do anything to see him. I'm so desperate, and it's hard because I don't know if I will ever see him, because being second cover, you have to rely on David being off and Tom being off or being sick for me to be able to see Carl. And I did tweet Wicked if there's any specific dates he will be on, but they didn't tweet back. So I would love to see him. If you've seen Carl, let me know what he's like. I mean, I know he's incredible anyway, but just I want to hear your stories on it. And whoever uploaded the audio of Carl Mann singing As Long As You're Mine, thank you so much. I know you shouldn't have done that, but thank you, because I listen to it all the time now. So that's my very quick mention. But apart from that, that's it for today's video. My next vlog's going to be probably in about 2 or 3 weeks time, because it's 20 days till I see Jamie and I'm going to be vlogging on that, so that will probably be when my next one is, because the next couple of weekends are busy with filming other things. I just noticed I use my hands a lot when I talk. I'm just going to sit on my hands for a moment. So yeah, so that's going to be another theatre vlog, and then like I mentioned last week, I've got something very special happening when I see Wicked, which I'm going to be vlogging about. And actually since last week, oh no, actually it did happen last week, very unexpected, but I'm going to be going to Birmingham on holiday for my birthday. So I'm going to be vlogging that because I'm going to go visit the world's biggest Primark. My poor mum, good luck mum. And then I'm seeing Hugh Jackman, so a couple of these are going, the next one's going to be all theatre vlogs, musical theatre songs, vlogs like that. And then hopefully I'll do a holiday one soon, hopefully. I haven't got anything planned yet. But I really hope you enjoyed this video. Have a lovely week, guys. I feel very strange right now sitting on my hands. So take care, and I will see you soon. Thanks so much for watching.